flashback to Old Exylvania, the Iron Legion, 200 years ago. In this historical campaign, you take command of the battalions of the Iron Legion, the army of Old Exylvania. In the present day, Kaiser Vlad of Exylvania tells his henchman, Commandant Ubel, about the war in which their ancestors, the Iron Legion, almost conquered the world. It was 200 years ago, and Lord Feroc of the Iron Legion stood on the brink of total conquest. Only Empress Ka-Len of the ancient Solar Empire dared to challenge him, launching its final attack. You must wage war upon the Solar Empire. The Solar Empire gathered the last of their forces and marched on Old Exylvania. Meanwhile, Lord Feroc was close to completing the construction of a new terror tank that would soon crush them all.
What is happening? Uber cannot see.
I have come for you, Commandant Ubel.
Herr Kaiser, can it be?
Exylvania's most loyal son has languished in this tundran gulag for far too long. Now come, Ubel. The Kaiser has much to tell you. Long ago, my ancestor Lord Feroc was cheated of victory by the Solar Empire. But in the method of the Iron Legion's defeat, I have discovered the key to vengeance upon the enemies of Exylvania.
You know, releasing Ubel, going to all that trouble to get him back, probably not worth the effort, considering it's Ubel. But anyhow, the mission description has already spoiled that we're going to be getting the battle station on our side for the first time.
Old Exylvania, 200 years ago. My ancestor, Lord Feroc, was on the brink of world domination. Here my story begins.
Ubel is happy. Ubel likes it when the Kaiser tells him stories.
In the final days of the Lightning Wars, the Solar Empire crossed the border into Legion territory. Empress Ka-Len established strike positions deep within Old Exylvania. Many Legion units were captured. But Lord Feroc was about to unleash a weapon he believed would tip the balance of the war once and for all.
Welcome to the Iron Legion campaign. Yes, because we needed another flashback, but, it's fun to play as the Iron Legion. It always feels nice to crush the enemy under your foot and just roll right over everything in your path, which is actually the exact opposite of what's going to happen in this campaign, because the Iron Legion missions, for whatever reason, still use the same design philosophy as the rest of the game, which means you have a tiny battalion you are on the brink of losing at the beginning of the mission, and you have to work for your victory, which I guess makes sense, but you know, I think it's a missed opportunity. We could be just running over legions of Solar Empire units. But, you know, I'll take what I can get. At least the Iron Legion has a campaign, unlike Exylvania. You can only play as Exylvania in multiplayer. There aren't even any bonus levels, so that's a bit of a disappointment there. So, for whatever reason, we have to start the Iron Legion campaign by defending our battle station. Yes, we have a battle station, and it doesn't fire at all in this mission. Well, at least for the defense portion. I have no idea why. You would think that the battle station would be capable of defending itself, but no. We have to use our other units to shoot down everything that tries to destroy it, because apparently it's not fueled up and ready to go, or something. I'll think about it later. So the biggest threat here is going to be the gunships. All of the land units get flown in by air transport, except for the vehicles. And that tower is called the Stolen Tower for some reason. This is the first mission we have control of RPG towers and anti-air towers. Between the anti-air towers and the anti-air infantry, you should be able to take out the gunships just fine. The air transports fly in too far away from the anti-air towers, but, you know, I really don't think it's a good idea for your anti-air units to come out of the goal, as it were, anyways. Some bazooka veterans come in next, and they are easily taken out by the gunship, among other things. I really don't get what the point of this part is. Is it supposed to be a challenge? I mean, if the battle station gets damaged here, that damage carries over into the rest of the mission when the battle station is actually playable. So, I don't know. For these gunships, it's also a viable strategy to actually ram your gunship into their gunship. There's plenty of fuel cans around, so you can refuel pretty easily if you get damaged. And then, of course, the artillery come out. The only reliable way to deal with the artillery here is to use your gunship against them. Still, taking them out isn't all that hard. Although they might get a shot in or on the battle station. Still, you can use the fuel cans to repair it afterwards. So, what was the point of the whole defense segment again? Well, at least the rest of the mission is going to feel awesome because we have the Iron Legion battle station. And the battle station in this game is a lot different from Battalion Wars 1. I actually think they took a lot of the skill out of using the battle station in this game, but it feels a lot more powerful. So I guess the trade-off is worth it for the most part. There's only 2 missions where you can actually use a battle station anyways. This being one of them, and the other being the final mission of the game. Yes, even though we get a battle station in the first Iron Legion mission, the next 2 missions, which also have the Iron Legion in them, do not have any sign of this battle station, so it comes off as a complete waste. So, the battle station in Battalion Wars 2. They have upgraded its main cannon so that it has a much longer range and goes flying into the air. It's almost like an artillery shot. Watch this. That is awesome. It's just as powerful as it was in Battalion Wars 1, and the explosion when the shell lands is so huge that it can actually take out a group of units if it's placed correctly. Although that's mostly when you're talking about infantry. As we can see, when it hits the heavy tank, it doesn't strictly take it out in one hit. But still, I recommend focusing on the RPG towers in this mission first, because they are going to be very annoying. Oh, and be sure to take out the anti-air towers before they destroy your gunship. Now, there are 2 POW camps on this map. Yes, the Solar Empire is taking prisoners, even though the fate of all that is good is at stake here. But I don't really care. You should take down this POW camp first, because it has your anti-air units. Then you should go after the other POW camp, because it has gunships. And, you know, the less your gunships are at risk, the better, so I prefer to just leave them captured where they're completely safe. By the way, gunship POWs. I stopped caring at this point. You know, I've actually been poking around the audio files. Apparently, in one of the earlier levels, they were planning on having POW submarines. How do you even think about capturing submarines? Do you just, like... Also, those gunships in the back there are being very strange. Are they just exiting and re-entering the draw distance? Yeesh. Oh well. I should preemptively apologize because this mission goes a little slowly because the battle station is still its slow self, and I decided to mostly control it for a vast majority of the level. So these stolen towers, they have rockets, and they're way stronger than RPG towers. These stolen towers, along with the RPG towers, constitute the biggest threat on the map because they can destroy your battle station if you let them get too many hits in. And since there aren't going to be any fuel cans until I actually get into the POW camp here, that's going to be annoying. Bazooka veterans can't do much unless they actually decide to charge their shots, which, considering this is the AI, they almost never do. There are mortar veterans. We see more enemy mortar veterans than we do player-controlled mortar veterans, which is very strange. As usual, you gotta get rid of the anti-air towers first. And that camp had 3 gunships in it. Wow. 3 whole gunships. So between the battle station and all of our gunships, we should have this mission in the bag right now. Are those mortar veterans trying to shoot at the gunship? That makes no sense. Oh look, they're sending in bazooka veteran and light tank reinforcements. I wonder if that's going to stand a chance at all against the battle station. Well, it is technically a new unit that the Solar Empire has never faced before, but they did know it existed, so... And that's all I want to ever say about that particular thing. Of course, our battle station still has cannons mounted into it, though I don't really see them. Are they automatic? I don't see anybody manning them. Oh well, no big deal. Now the Solar Empire has done something very smart, considering it's the Solar Empire. They set up artillery on these cliffs here. Now, the only unit that's going to be able to pick up the fuel cans once they're destroyed is the gunship, because they're on a cliff. Very smart. Of course, the battle station can easily shell them out so they don't get much of a chance to do much damage. You could even hang out outside their range and just use gunships against them. That's an option too. I suppose it is pretty nice that they give you the option of not using the battle station as much as they probably intended you to. Because you could just use gunships for the vast majority of the level. Unless there happens to be an anti-air tower, and there are a couple up ahead. Now, due to my recklessness, the battle station has been lowered to about 1/4 of its health. If you're any more careful than I am, this will not be a problem. But you know me, I like to be reckless. Hey look! The Solar Empire has solar panels! That makes sense! Oh, but that is a lot of heavy tanks though. I guess we'd better do something about it. Heavy tanks and gunships, rather. We better do something about these solar panels, like use the battle station. We just got to blow up everything in sight. This is gonna be fun. Due to the battle station's range, you can actually hit these solar panels from way far away. Of course, as soon as you start attacking them, 1 or 2 heavy tanks will start moving towards you. but still, you can have the solar panel destroyed before the heavy tank gets to you. And after that, you just take out the heavy tank with the battle station. And you want to take out these solar panels as quickly as possible, too. Because if you take them out before the units get re-energized, and I'm pretty sure if you wait long enough, they'll get re-energized and start attacking you, but when you destroy a solar panel, all the units near the solar panel also get destroyed, which means you can pick up lots and lots of fuel cans to replenish your health. And that's pretty nice. Way to reward the speedrunners in the world. Of course, I've been reckless again, so now that gunship is shooting at my units from outside the playable area. Like, look at the map, the mini-map there. So much for the honor of the Solar Empire. They attacked from outside the playable region, and I know the computer doesn't have to obey that rule. But how are my units supposed to get to it, aside from shooting at them from long range? I'm still amazed at the range of the battle station. It's amazing. Of course, I've drawn too close to this solar panel, so now the heavy tanks are going to start attacking me, and I almost die here. I am not 100% certain on whether the battle station's survival is a primary objective after you finish defending it, but I don't really mind. The battle station can, as you see, take a lot of hits from anything that isn't also a battle station. A bomber, a gunship. Any air unit works, really. Yeah, I guess the Solar Empire is regretting not developing that bomber now, aren't they? They don't even have a model for the bomber. So it's not like there could ever be a Solar Empire bomber in any of the levels. These heavy tanks are smart, though. They're picking up the fuel cans that all the enemies have dropped. And look at this. Heavy tank walks over to the fuel can, gets hit, picks it up, gets hit, picks it up. Come on. There we go. Now it's destroyed. Annoying heavy tank. This is the last solar panel for the level. And there it goes. So long, battle station, we hardly knew ye. And there goes my power ranking because I did not destroy that heavy tank. Got away from the solar panel. Nice shot there, AI-controlled battle station. I would have never been able to do that. Oh yes, of course, we all know what the Solar Empire is going to do at the end of this campaign. It's sort of a foregone conclusion, and I don't really like that. I think it would have worked better for the plot if they had waited until the end of the Iron Legion campaign to show what the Solar Empire does with their super weapon. Yeah, I really gotta stop talking about the plot, don't I?